What's good, guys? Flack here with my first YouTube video in a while. Today I just wanted to give a quick few thoughts on New World, the latest survival light MMO from Amazon Game Studios. In New World, you play as a settler in some crazy new world filled with zombies or some shit. I don't know, the story doesn't matter. This is a goddamn MMO, so only one thing matters and that's the grind. And let me tell you what, New World has a grind. First off, let's talk classes. This game doesn't have them. Next, let's talk races. Your options include human. Perfect, no wasting time on dumb choices, all that matters here is how long your beard is anyway. On to the grind. Leveling in New World has a lot of similarities to games like the Elder Scrolls series, where rather than picking a class and sticking to it, you have a set of attributes that you can dump points into as you level, and otherwise it's a simple factor of do a thing to get better at it. Want to be a healer? Dump your XP into Int, grab yourself a life staff, and level it up to gain its unique abilities. Want to do some range DPS? Dump your stats into Dex, start leveling a musket or bow. The choices are all yours. You can respec whenever you want, and there's no limit to how many builds and rolls you can achieve in one character. It really does feel like just about anything is perfectly viable. Combat itself is very different from your standard MMO. Being active, action combat is more in common with games like Remnant from the Ashes, a Souls-like shooter that consumed a ton of my life a few years ago. Traditional MMO fans should take note here, there is no tab targeting. Even healers can miss their targets. I won't say in any way it's hardcore, but if you aren't decent at aiming a mouse, you may want to stick with something a little more spammy like a hatchet or sword and board than a musket or a magic staff. Quests are plentiful and, generally speaking, pretty respectful of your time. Dungeons are a solid challenge that require you to form your own groups to delve them. At the moment, there is no matchmaking, however with the huge popularity the game is seeing at the moment, finding a group for Dungeon Run doesn't seem to take that long. The real meat of the grind, however, at least for a crazy person like myself, is crafting and gathering. There's a lot to grind and some of the grinds are pathetically slow. The rewards are well worth the time investment as the options of crafting a unique gear at a level to perfectly complement your build are plentiful and highly valuable, but will require a heavy time sink in multiple crafting and gathering jobs, as well as some lucky drops to make the best gear. Crafting also feels like the best way to earn lots of money as there are no vendors in the game and the markets are 100% player driven and territory specific. Speaking of territories, let's talk PvP. When you reach level 10, you are forced to choose one of three factions. These three factions represent the map meta for the game, as all factions war over territories for as much control as they can gather. Gaining control of a region has multiple perks, including crafting costs, XP gains, etc., as well as represents a source of income for whatever clan currently owns the region. Here lies some of the most compelling and unique aspects of New World for me, and what keeps me leveling hard every night to be the best that I can for wartime. In the name of brevity, I won't go into all the PvP systems, but essentially the way it works is players complete PvP missions in other factions' territories in order to gain influence in that region. Once enough influence is gained, the attacking faction can declare war. While I haven't had the chance to partake yet in a war, I'm scheduled to be on later this week, war is decided via a scheduled 50v50 event, and the winning faction claims ownership of the region in the end. This, and all the other faction systems, combine to form a pseudo-nationalism simulator that is just a blast to partake in, and if not a little bit over the top every now and then. There's still a ton I can cover, but to be honest, I still haven't experienced many of the systems, especially the endgame ones. I've been so busy with the grinds above that I haven't touched the corruption portals at all, and I've barely done any of the world boss stuff. I'm excited to see what there has to offer, but if I'm being honest, the rest of the systems can pretty much fail entirely and I still would be satisfied with this purchase. Which brings us to the last point, which is value. Value is tough, I get that. The concept of value is literally different for every human, so take everything here with a grain of salt, but holy shit is this a freaking amazing value. I haven't mentioned it yet, but this game is only $40. That's right, $40. I have 100 hours in the game. I'm level 32 out of 60, and I've only paid $40. That's insane to me. There's no subscription cost, and so far, the real money store is limited to just cosmetics that I don't really care about. Don't get me wrong, I definitely expect Amazon to charge for every little bit of content that comes out of it from here on out, but if I'm being honest, I would much rather buy a game's content piecemeal for a fair price than pay much more and a sub fee for something that I might go 4+ weeks without playing and come back to every now and then. Obviously, I can't make too much judgment for future value, but for what was released last week and is currently available as of this review, I think it's an excellent price point. Well, there we have it. A quick and dirty review of New World. As you can tell, I'm enjoying the hell out of it so far. Will the honeymoon be over in 2 weeks? Maybe. But at $40, I've already gotten my money's worth out of it, and I plan to at the very least see what Endgame has to offer. Plus, I can't let my beloved Covenant down. For the spark. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and please check me out on twitch.tv/flackmonkey.